Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we got...
Kyle McIntyre.
We're back. The boys are back.
Yeah.
The fucking boys.
And we're not in the same town, though.
Yeah, we definitely... You were...
A little bit, I was.
Yeah. Keep your distance, because right now I'm dangerous. You did pick up your amp that I had.
Yeah.
At my place, but we kept the...
Let me get this going. Hold on.
I think you're definitely... when I was positive for COVID. Positive guy. Positive outlook. Oh, there you go. You get the Bud BL.
There's ice in there.
The Bud Light limes with ice.
These are warm.
Yeah. That's how we
They're
do.
just not cold, I should say.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway.
Sorry, I was killing your momentum. I just want to show off that I'm classy as fuck now.
Yeah, trying to think of like the timeline here, because yeah, we missed a week because I had COVID, and then we couldn't record. And then last week, thanks for Andrew, he filled in because you were traveling, because you were, not to steal your thunder here, you were moving. So that's what's new, what's shaking, what's grooving, what is good, a lot of stuff. So we're catching up. It's been like 2 weeks since we've had the podcast with both of us.
Yeah. You want me to share my...
Yeah. So I already spoiled a little bit, but you moved your shit from San Diego to Texas.
Yeah, so flew in, I think Thursday night. The plan was to, obviously, everyone go to NAMM, right? You ruined it. Mm-hmm. It's okay. You just have to spoil it for everybody. No, so we were originally going to have, the whole kit and caboodle, a hotel, go there for 3 days pretty much, like 2.5 or whatever. Yeah. Or just drive home on the last day. Who knows? Well, I don't know what really the plan was.
I think we're going to go Friday, Saturday, full days. And then Sunday, kind of like that last day, you're kind of like, let's see anything that we wanted to see, and then bounce.
Yeah, then bounce, yeah. So we didn't get that, right? So we canceled. We realized that, okay, well, Brian's not going to be there. So we canceled like the interviews that we were going to do, right? Mm-hmm. So, okay, we canceled the hotel room. So you had a hotel room booked. I had one booked because, we had to keep keep ourselves separated since we've been apart for so long. We don't know what's going to happen. Just,
Yeah. Well, we were going to go, and then RJ was going to come with us, and then we're going to have, So it was a bunch of things that I felt bad because I like fucked it all up. And I think,
what are you going to do?
No, it's like, I think you made the joke. I'm like, hey, just go. Anyways, I'm like, I felt like dog shit.
Wear a Darth Vader mask.
Yeah, no, I felt like dog shit, and also, for one, I felt like dog shit, and for two, I'm sure there's tons of people that did that anyways. Because they're like, I'm a little bit sick, but fuck, I already paid for tickets.
I've been waiting forever.
Well, because we were just gonna drive up, so I can imagine other people from across the country or across the world. They're like, no, I'm fucking going.
Yeah,
it's funny because I'm like, it's not funny. I guess it's bad, but yeah, I'm just like, the day or two before I was gonna go.
Yeah,
so I was off work for pretty much 2 weeks because it's the 10 days or whatever.
Fourth vacation. Yeah.
Well, because every state is different, but California, at least they're like, after 5 days, if you don't have, if you're not testing positive anymore and you don't have symptoms, blah, 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 you can go back to work. And then I'm like, I kept testing positive, and my manager's like, all right, well, I guess you're going to go
Looks like you got the good one, Brian.
It's like, no, I guess you're going to do the whole 10 days. I'm like, yeah. And then, now I'm off work. These are my days off. So you tacked on. For those. Well, the way it tacked on, I'm like, well, yeah, so I'll see you next week. It ended up being, I'm like, I was gone for like 2 weeks. People are like, Jesus Christ, did you die? I'm like, no, it's just how it worked out.
Yeah.
But I'm stealing your what's new. I'm negative.
That's right.
Tested negative. I'm back at work.
Yeah.
Getting after it.
That's good.
But it's weird being gone for 2 weeks, and you go back to work, you're like, and I like started a new job that I like did a week of training, and then I'm like off for 2 weeks. I'm gonna come back and I'm like,
nice vacation there, middle of training.
And it's like, oh, shit. I don't remember a damn thing.
So, basically, Johnny and I tried to pick up the pieces of this event, basically.
Which,
Brian tried to ruin it.
Yeah.
We persevered.
I don't want to, spoil it, but I do want to ask you more about that, because you did end up going to NAMM for a day with Johnny. You kind of...
Yeah, we did. I think we got there, I don't even think, you can't even call it a day. We were there from, possibly 10 o'clock to maybe 3.
Yeah, I guess it's a full day. Well, I guess we think of full days as we stumble in there around 11 and then 11:30 and then we're there
grab a couple beers.
Yeah, we're there until 6 and then we go on to either a party or we go and have our own party and we just fucking eat
underwear party with the fruit roll-ups that Johnny brings.
Oh man, what's there's that one, is it it's not I can't remember the name of it. There's a brewery in Anaheim that's kind of it's a way away from the
Bombshell or something, or
Bottle Logic? No.
Oh, Bottle Logic.
I think it's Bottle Logic. No. Yeah. I gotta ask my buddy.
I don't know. Who cares?
My buddy.
Look it up.
Yeah, buddy Danny told me about it. So we went there, and that was kind of our spot. We'd go there at least one night.
Yeah, find the food truck there sometimes. So
you just eat just fucking potatoes and fucking crap with beer, and this is the life. I'm like, you can do this in San Diego. I'm like, I know, but we're here.
Shut up. But I'm in LA.
But this is with the fucking boys.
We're so far away in another city. The next county up. Just
craft beer and more carbohydrates. But yeah, so we do stuff like that. Either go out to dinner and whatever, have fun. And then we do podcasting every night. But anyway, so that's probably why it felt like a shorter thing. But before we get into the NAMM thing, I want to ask you more questions about moving. So, because people don't know.
I was going to do moving after NAMM. Because in my head, it's after NAMM.
Okay.
All right, God. Oh no, let's do it. Let's do it.
You don't want to ruin
You're
everything,
grilling
Brian?
me, apparently.
You already fucking ruined my trip to NAMM.
Yeah.
My San Diego trip you ruined.
All right, we'll get back to NAMM. Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it. We're coming back to it. You moved your body and the Vic and some trash bags of clothes last year out to Texas. Because you were staying with a family member. Yeah, I know. You probably some guitars, your computer, some guns, stuff like that. So
packed the shit out of that car, and I wish I could have fit more.
So that was the initial trip, just to get out there, start the new job. But the goal is to start. You were hunting for a house, so that was we put in the time frame, so people kind of figuring things out. And then you got a house, and you're like, okay, cool. Now I can start. Filling it with my own stuff that's in San Diego. And you're like, eventually.
Yeah.
It's always eventually.
It's a whole year I waited, basically, to actually go get my shit. So,
which you put it off because it was a pain in the ass, right?
Yes.
But also just timing-wise.
Just,
money-wise.
My wife wasn't out here yet. It's the house would get situated. So nothing was set in stone, and it was just all right, well, we're pulling the trigger. If we're going to go to NAMM, let's line this up and, do them at the same time. So. But
also kind of worked out that we didn't spend 3 full days there.
Oh, yeah.
You needed the time to pack that
Oh, man. I needed, more. I needed, another day and a half or so, I bet.
Yeah. So you were going to do that all in, what, a day and a half?
Well, yeah, we did more packing than I expected. I packed more shit than what I expected.
It's
I wasn't expecting to take certain things, and I changed my mind and wanted it.
You go to help a friend move. Nothing's packed. Not even boxes made.
No, I felt yes. So I basically, as soon as I got in let's see, Friday morning, I guess. So flew in Thursday, Friday morning, went to Home Depot, bought all their totes of a certain size. The Home Depot close to the house. I bought I think the yellow and black totes.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm I don't want to be building boxes. I don't want shit breaking, because some of the stuff I have is really heavy
and fragile.
Well, not really fragile, but just I'm gonna put a shitload of stuff in this tote.
Glass bingers.
Yeah.
Get your bong out.
They're water pipes, Brian. They're for tobacco.
Gotta hit the binger, bro.
So it worked out that Thursday. So it worked out that we didn't go up Friday, basically, because we were going to go up Friday morning to go up to NAMM.
Yep.
So instead, we started just packing stuff. Right. It took a lot. I mean, there was so much shit in that garage. Like I packed all my chemical. I have a chemical cabinet of things that I've bought, and while I'm here, I'm like, I fucking need that. Like I have stuff. Like I have a house now. Like before, I didn't even own that house, right? But I have just weed, things that I've not weed, but weed killers. Yeah. I have spray paint,
killer weed.
Yeah. Killer weed and weed killers, dude. Keep them separated. Packed that shit, which was, I didn't think there was that much shit in there. Like a lot of that stuff I got for free from when I worked at a hardware store, because they would like, oh, we got a hazmat this. I'm like, I'll take it. Like something that wasn't even opened, or something that I guess that was opened, or was not even used. Cans of shit. So I have all the stuff that I could have thrown away pretty much, but I would have had to hazmat it out myself.
Or it's like you could have done that and got paid for it at your job, but you just I'm gonna take this on.
I stole it. No, I got
no, because they're just gonna get rid of it. So like there's a lot of stuff. I work in a housewares furniture store. There's like stuff that they like, like either things for display or whatever. Like there was like one thing that stands out was like a bunch of like fake plants they were just going to get rid of. And then sometimes they'll get rid of real plants and then people just take them. Or like a bunch of barrels they were just getting rid of. Because I'm like, we're going to throw them away. And
they use for display and stuff.
Yeah, we would display shit in them. And I'm like one of the managers, I'm like, whoa, like stop, hold on. There's a whole big ass cart full of barrels. I'm like, don't throw them away. Put a sign for free and have associates take them. And it's like, I just want to throw them away and get rid of them. I'm like, hold on. These will be gone.
My freaking trash can.
I told my manager, I'm like, yo, dude, these will be gone by the end of the day. I guarantee it. And the associates just took them because they wanted like barrels. I'm like, I like the idea of people taking shit other than throwing it away. Just it's going to wind up in a landfill. So I'm like, but the thing is, I know the idea of like, oh, you're going to take shit. And I thought, I'm like, should I take one? I'm like, no. I have no fucking room for it. I have no use for it. It would just be in me. I'm like, instead of my manager throwing it in the dumpster, I would eventually throw it in the dumpster.
Yeah.
So it's kind of that idea for you. You're like, I could use that. I'll take it. And then you're like, why did I take that 5 years ago? It's always the, will I use it? I might need it. You might, but I'm like, have you used it in 5 years? Probably not.
Yeah.
You should have got rid of it.
I got to, all right. Yes, should have. Anyways, I had that cabinet. It was a cabinet I got from UCSD. Just like something you'd see in like a lab, like a science lab with locking door on it. There was so much shit in there. It took me like 5 or 6 totes to like fill of just shit. I'm like putting like just dumping shit in here. I had sandpaper. I had just stuff unorganized. So I'm like, all right, I'm putting this back in there. I got to organize it, putting back in here. Because I would just throw shit in there. I'm like, I don't fucking know. Because that's how I am.
Yeah.
But got that. I mean, super exciting. But I guess the number one thing I was like dreading getting in there was my toolbox. So
yeah, because that thing was heavy when I remember when you bought it and you you picked it up in your El Camino at the time.
Yeah,
and didn't it kind of just like really lowered it?
It not bottomed out, but it was pretty. It was maxing. And then
because you got the tool chest. How big is that bitch? It's like what is it? 5 feet wide?
It's 56 inches wide. So the 5 feet, just a little over 5 feet.
I was like,
or it's 5 feet.
Isn't it 60 inches? No. So it's just under 5 feet.
Yeah. So it's
a couple inches
big.
Between friends, you know?
Jesus. So yeah, and it's like eye level, like it's high, like it's the top of it. I think it's just a little over eye level for me.
Well, yeah, because you have the chest that goes on top of it too, right? Isn't it 2 parts? Or is it
just it's 2 parts. Yeah. No, it's 2 parts. But that's what I was saying. Like them stacked together, it's that tall.
Yeah, so it's like what, at least 6 feet, something like that. Tall.
Yeah, it's almost there.
It's a really cool. Is it Husky or is it Craftsman?
Yeah, okay. Husky. And I wanted one that was super heavy duty and I fucking got it.
Is, and then you can organize so much shit. So I remember when you got it, when you finally organized shit, I'm like, it's really brilliant,
Yeah.
Mike.
And that thing forces you to be organized. It forces me to be organized. It's like, put it back where it belongs. It's not that hard. It's not like you have one drawer where you're like, it's like, all right, well, you pulled it out of the wrench drawer.
I've heard this
Figure
because he's my dad, and I'm sure you've heard it from my dad. Like, because he's always tells you this lesson. Or, like, if you're in his garage working or doing something, it's like, this may look messy, but I know where everything is. I put it right back where it belongs.
He has everything.
Like, this is cluttered, but not messy or disorganized. It's organized. And he shows you his mess. He's got fucking jars of random screws.
He knows what's in them, I guess.
Sometimes he'll like, I got that piece in that jar. I'm like, which one of the fucking 8 jars that you have of random shit? Yeah, it's in this one. He pulls it and he finds the thing that he needs. I'm like,
impressive.
Touche, Dad.
So, anyways, that thing was a pain in the ass. Even like getting it, buying it, getting it home was a pain in the ass. Building it.
Yeah.
Because it's like 2 boxes. You just stack them and then screw them together. So, can you guess getting it into this fucking truck?
Was also
by the way,
a pain in the ass. So the truck was,
The truck was a 26-foot truck. That's I didn't measure it to see if like, is that the length of the box itself or is that the whole truck?
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was the whole truck.
Yeah.
I also had a trailer that was like 18 feet.
Yeah.
So let's say add 20 feet to, 26. So it was like 46, 45 feet long, this fucking rig that I decided.
Yeah. So this is also a thing too. It's like, one, you've never driven a truck that big before.
Yeah.
Right?
Never driven a truck that big. Well, I mean, legally, yes.
Or, out,
yes, at highway speeds. With real load and
yeah. And then
crazy.
also, you have never driven with a trailer.
Nope.
Also, with a car on the trailer, which is like the trailer was for your El Camino. So I'm like, all right, dude, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty ambitious. I've never done it before. And then
you're a different man than me for sure, because that would scare the shit out of me. I'd just be white knuckling the whole time. I'm like,
call you the white knuckler.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we Friday. I guess I'll backtrack. Friday was spent packing. We didn't get the truck until Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So packed it up. Dude, I'm tired from building a fucking fence. Like, I think we talked about building that fence. Or no, did we?
Yeah. The storm came.
Yeah.
Knocked over.
Storm came. I'm fucking tired still from building. I think because I put the fence.
With that bullshit. Yeah.
I actually put the panels up. I think on like Wednesday, like Tuesday or Wednesday, and then worked Thursday, and then flew out Friday. So it's like I'm tired from working out in the fucking sun, 102 degrees, just like. Sweat, putting that, and I didn't rent, or I didn't have any. I didn't have a nailer, so like that would have been the best. Like, just go really fast.
Yeah, it was just
really fast.
Hammer.
I nail. Well, no, I didn't do hammer. I did screws. So I just did like it's way more, it's stronger than what a nailer would have done. Yeah, so freaking tired. Friday. Pack shit, get things organized, get it ready, get things staged. Basically, that's my goal. Stage things that can go, heavy things that can go in the front of the truck, because that's kind of how you want to do it. Clear things, like I had my workbench still covered with bullshit. So I'll pack that. I still had like workstation set up. Like I still had my, components and shit for building, not building, but modifying pedals and stuff. Yeah. So I'm like, I still had I had all that stuff. Had to work on that. Tables, I still had shit on top of tables, and there's still a table there that just has shit on it. But
it's not the Husky table, right? It's
no. So the Husky table had I had an 8. That thing's 8 feet, like 2 feet by 8 feet, heavy as hell. Got that thing also in the truck first alongside the Husky toolbox. So to get that in. Basically, I split it in half, wheeled it over to the the truck because it's high, right? And then took the top off and put it inside, and then this fucking truck, man. So you'd think, oh, this is a big ass truck. It's gonna have a really long ramp because like some of those trucks have a fucking huge ass like ramp.
Yeah, because
so
you want
it has
not a steep
yeah
slope.
This thing had like
climbing fucking Everest.
This thing had like a super short ramp, and it was like super steep.
It's like a fucking
it was
roller coaster drop.
Oh my god! Like, all right, everybody, here we go.
Like you're Tony Hawk hitting in the fucking half pipe there.
Grind on the side of that thing.
Grind City, baby. Do the McVarial, dude. Yeah.
So we got it in just by pulling and pushing, basically. Because I've seen
and I've
seen,
huh?
it was just Carrie and I. Seen.
No
videos.
way! Oh my god! So it was the tool chest you got up there? Just you guys?
Yeah. So I put that in first. That was like one of the first things because I wanted it as close, far up as possible.
No,
I wanted it.
Got some strength. She's fucking.
Yeah. She pulled, and I was basically anchor, and I had like a piece of wood in my pocket just in case the thing started coming down. I could put it underneath one of the wheels. Doubt it would do anything, but it just run over my fingers while I'm trying to put it there.
You lose a couple digits. It's
like flashing in my head. Just swing kids myself right there.
No.
So we got that in, and I had like an elaborate plan. Like I bought a come along like at Harbor Freight so you could ratchet it up just in case, and I had like I had cable.
I don't know what that is. I just heard that and I'm like, oh my god.
And you saw me doing this.
That's what I want to do.
Come along. Hold on, pause the cast.
All right.
Bring us some art up on the screen here.
Yeah. The podcast just turns into us reading erotica.
So we got that shit in there. I basically kept the top of the tool chest by the door. I didn't want to because I would have to slide it to the very front. I just kept it at the back. I'm like, fuck this. We'll figure out where this goes. Put the workbenches in there, and then basically stack boxes under and over. I'm gonna tell you how I did everything, but it was so much shit. The stuff that weighed the most was probably the parts that I have that I should have just scrapped.
Mm-hmm.
I have old
motorcycle parts and what parts for the
not so much the motorcycle parts. It's the fucking cast iron bullshit GM parts that I have. Like, I've already changed them out on my car. It's like that's the stock stuff that. It's cast iron.
Mm-hmm.
I have either aluminum parts now, which are lighter, or I have another cast iron piece that's replaced it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I should have I just didn't have, I thought I was going to pack everything and get out of there. So when it came down to, so we went to NAMM, whatever, came back, realized like towards the end of the truck, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to get everything in here. I'm not going to be able to get, if I would have stacked everything Tetris, right? And just kind of like no air in the freaking truck, I probably could have done it. But I realized that shit was so heavy, I don't know if this truck is going to be able to handle it. Because I don't know if you know anything about San Diego County, but it's 4,000. It's a 4,000 foot climb, the whole county length. It's the whole way. So it's like you start at the ocean where our house is basically, which is like maybe 200 feet above sea level, 300 feet. Yeah. And you just you go uphill the whole way out of the county. And then as soon as the county line hits, you just drop. I'm like, I don't want to deal with.
I don't really go east all that much.
Yeah, going east is crazy. It's nuts. You do like this. You go from 0 to 4,000 feet. And then literally on the other side, you drop below sea level. So when you go into like El Centro, it's below sea level.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny.
One time we went to El Centro, just to get some Miller High Life?
I threw this away, by the way.
Oh no!
Well, they were like 2 years old.
Yeah, it would have been. Oh man, I should have grabbed
skunk
those.
Beers.
Got them, just keep them for the fucking the studio west here. Oh man, but
it might be in the garage. I don't think so.
I've gone to your garage a couple times since you've been in Texas. And I always see like your fucking whiskey. I'm like.
Oh, I took that.
I'm like, would he fucking know if I just fucking take these? Fuck him. I don't take them. But
one of the bottles had like, a drink and a half in it. I was like, fuck it, I'm working real hard.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Oh my God. I wonder, did you still have that third, like old, like 2 or 3 year old pack of Bud Lights? 30.
Oh no, I threw those away a long time ago. Well, I shouldn't say a long time ago, but before I left.
Yeah.
When I was clearing shit out, I'm like, let me just get rid of these now so I don't have fucking ticking time bombs.
They just start exploding.
Just blow up. Yeah.
Yeah, I did want to ask, did you find anything like cool in your garage? Like, because I know you kind of were packing shit up and stuff has been there for years of like, I don't know, almost like the idea is like what I'm trying to get at is like anything that's like kind of very small, short form, like time capsule thing that you uncovered that you're like, oh man, this is cool. Like,
well, I found like notes for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I found like sheets of paper that are basically just like tossed in like a box. I was like, oh, I'm keeping those. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something stupid with those one day. I don't know. Paper mache them.
I don't know if I left my notebook. I wonder if I have it or brought it. But originally I had like a notebook that was like half of it was like old plain lyrics. And then the back half was all podcast notes. Because we used to right now I'm utilizing notes. And like I know people like pull the curtain back and like, what? I have notes on my phone about like what's new. And like if I have, this actual question that I'm talking to you with now, it's like something I wanted to bring up.
Yeah.
So I'll put it just on my notes app on my phone. So I'm using less and less paper, but I remember the podcast, we'd always write them out and we'd,
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. I like going back to those. Yeah.
No, I told Carrie, I'm like, this is the podcast. Like, this is the podcast.
Yeah.
Like, not that it's only that, but it's like, I did write, I would doodle and shit, and I'd make stupid picture job shit. But I also, because I'm stupid, I guess, I have like a short like attention span, and I have like a really bad memory. So like that helps. Like, and then literally like today, like my notes are NAMM, move. And I don't know why I put endless. I don't know why I put endless, but I was going to probably finish that sentence, but I stopped. So,
well, and then now I guess the podcast has changed since what, 2017 when we started?
Yeah.
We're now doing it digitally. It was
Digito.
The way I said that was stupid. No, obviously we recorded using the Zoom, but we were in the same room. We didn't have a computer. We didn't have computers in front of us.
No AC, no fans.
Now we're on, computer, we're on computer.
Now we got tons of fans.
Yeah. We're on the computer now talking through Zoom. So if we need to pull something up or show it on the podcast, we can. Yeah. Before we just didn't do that. Like I know your computer was sometimes in the garage with us, but I'm like, you weren't on it.
We didn't jump on it. No.
And so
afterwards, hell yeah, we'd look up something. Shit, we're stupid.
Yeah.
We're wrong.
Or we try and sometimes go over there, have a beer before we podcast and you're doing research. All right, we'll bring this up. Let's like actually look things up. I'm like trying to have some sort of like facts that we bring up and it's like wrong. Yeah.
Snopes might try and fact check us. We got to make sure we're good.
Yeah. Did you bring the podcast table out there or is it still in the garage?
No, I have it. I brought it. There's still another one there though, if you wanted that.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of that one. Not that I'm going to do anything with it now. I always have this idea of like, oh man, it'd be so cool to get a rehearsal space again. And then I would turn half of it into a podcast studio. And then the other half, like record, or rehearsing, recording with the band. I'm like, I don't have money. I don't know. I think of like, I got a new job, which, I got paid a little bit more, but I'm like, I'm not money bags. It's not like it was like a gigantic jump. It was like a little bit more. And I'm in my head, I'm like, oh man, I'm a fucking millionaire now. I'm like, no, you moron. You're not even in a new tax bracket. I'm like, oh my God. Just like I'm dusting my shoulders off. I'm like, got the Chad chin. I'm like, oh my God.
Anyways. So this is Sunday, I guess. Or maybe it's Monday. I don't remember which day. Johnny came over and actually helped.
Yeah, that was Sunday.
Sunday. So he came over and helped. Like I think he came over like tail end of the day after I'm already fucking beat. I'm already like, all right, I want to end. And he's like, hey, you still need help? I'm like, yeah, I guess I do. I do need help. So we worked for another like 3 hours after he got there.
Yeah, and then you guys cruised over. I was like,
caught COVID.
I was still sickly, and I'm like, because you're which is right behind you on your right shoulder there for people watching. Yeah, I had the Classic and the 410 HLF Ampeg cab.
Yeah.
The SVT Classic rig was at my place. I was fucking around with it and using it for photos and stuff. Mainly
you didn't play it?
Okay. Yeah, you got the input or whatever, something.
Oh yeah, so you said the input?
Something with it. It was like you play it, it's like it's crackly.
Okay, I'll take it in or something. I'll find a spot.
Yeah. I'm sure it just needs to be cleaned. I tried to do a little quick clean with deoxit. Didn't do it. Anything. All
right. Fuck, gotta take that thing in. Gotta rent a trailer to take it in.
Or maybe needs maybe preamp tubes or something like that.
Don't say it.
But anyways.
Don't
fucking jinx me. Anyway, so I'm like, I know that you had to pick this up because there's no way that I could get that out there, like ship it. Or I'm like, if I do fly out to, if I do go out to see it, which I'm planning probably we'll do October or something like that, I'm just going to fly. I'm not going to drive.
Come on.
And so I'm like, you got to pick this thing up. And I'm sorry. Like I think I was still sick and I'm like, I'm weak. I'm like,
bullshit.
Well, no, I didn't. I honestly, like, I was talking with like I would text
you're like Nosferatu over there.
People,
the vampire looking, black and white.
People were checking in on me and stuff like that, which I do appreciate. And then the boys, always the fucking homies checking in. Andrew was one for sure. He was checking in. He's like, "How do you feel?" I'm like, "I'm actually super fucking tired today. All I did today was I watched Seinfeld. I cut my own hair. I took a shower, and then I took a nap." He's like, "Yep, that sounds about right." Any desire to be productive. I'm like, "I'm gonna do something." Well, I cut my hair. All right, back to bed. Which I'm like, it looks fucking. Look. Fucking,
oh hell yeah! It's so dark behind you, no one can see it.
Yeah, the short hair. Look at that. All right, we're getting.
Hell yeah, looks fucking sick, dude.
Getting after it. Anyways, so like I remember when you guys came by, I'm like, as soon as let you guys out, I'm like, I'm fucking tired. So tired.
You open the door.
But I was like,
I'll be in my chambers.
But yeah, loading it up. I'm like, do you need help moving? Because I know the Classic Ampeg head is pretty heavy. It's like 85 pounds or pretty. It's pretty. I think it is 85 pounds. It's pretty heavy, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, do you need help with that? No, I got it. I'm like, oh, thank God. I offered to help you, and you're like, no, I got it. And you're like, I'm like, yes, thank God.
Take a handle. Oh, sorry, I can't.
I can't. I get my strong.
It's the thought that counts.
My strong, yeah.
You say that?
It's the thought that I say that
immediately. Oh, I can't. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah, I mean, I would if I could. So, anyways, you guys had to come by. Luckily, Johnny, was with you because I'm like, that's you. You don't have a vehicle unless you want to drive.
I was borrowing my mother-in-law's vehicle. You know? It would have worked.
Yeah.
But I was like, Johnny, you want to go see a dying man?
Dead man walking.
Yeah. He's like it's prison walking down the road. Yeah. Dead man walking. Like walking. No one asked you to say that.
Yeah. But yeah, it was good to see you for a quick second. But it was you got that all loaded. So you got all the music gear, you got all that shit loaded.
Yeah.
And you made the drive out. I mean, so the initial question that I had, did you find anything cool or was it just like, oh, there's just crap? Oh, I guess I guess you did answer. It was the podcast notes.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
There were some other things where I'm like, oh shit, this is where it is. I've been looking for that. You know,
Or-
of the 5 things I was able to take with me the first time. It's like, oh yeah, it was still at home. Or I thought I had packed like the soldering iron, the Heiko one, Hacko or whatever. I thought I packed it in a box that Carrie was gonna bring with her when she drove out, but she didn't grab that one. She grabbed another one.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I opened that box. Actually, when I got here, I was like, okay, it did make it because I did pack it in a similar box to the one that she brought. Yeah. It was like the same size and everything. I just didn't label it. I should have labeled it.
Yeah.
But have like the badass soldering iron that you gave me.
Soldering
you gifted.
Station.
Yeah.
No, that was one.
Soldering iron.
If you remember, we traded each other for that. So I bought that soldering station for myself. Used it once.
What did you get?
And you bought a Sir Riot Mini.
Okay.
And we traded each other, and I'm like, sucker. And you're like, sucker. Yeah. I love that Riot. It's great.
Like, fuck this guy. Fucking sucks at making
I think
deals.
if I
I'm
actually,
a fucking negotiator.
If I had the gumption, I would have stuck with
You'll need it.
Soldering and stuff like that. I do want to get another one. So
yeah,
because
just get the new, whatever the new one is.
Yeah,
the better one.
That same version of the soldering station, but newer.
Yeah.
That'll be the plan. Eventually, get some of that. And like I said, I want to start getting into like swapping pickups and shit like that. I don't necessarily want to do pedals, but who knows? But definitely, pickup swapping is going to be a great thing. Because I would love to do that for myself and friends. They're like, "Oh, can you swap these electronics?" I'm like, "I don't have a soldering iron, but also I'm not that good at it, so I got to start just fucking around with that." I think Andrew said, he's like, "Oh, if you buy some, I don't know, electronics and just start desoldering the board and then soldering it back, that way you can just get better at doing that."
Yeah.
Something that's already broken. It's like, yeah, just fucking pull it apart and put it back together.
Yeah, you ain't gonna fuck it up.
So, but yeah, so you got all that going. Was there anything? Oh, sorry. No, I was like, was there anything that you like immediately tossed? You're like, why the fuck am I holding on to this?
Well, I mentioned that beer.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, these are probably skunked out. My wife was stoked that I was throwing those away. She's like, God, why are you holding on to those? I'm like, the bottle's cool. Yeah. I know. It
was a champagne of beers in a champagne bottle. Oh my God. That offends me.
Pisses you off.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh my God. I would have grabbed that.
I'm sorry.
Should
have just left it. Because I was, anyways, I won't bring it up again.
We're done. Cast is over. Friendship over.
No, there were things that I could, I saw like, I had like half containers of like antifreeze. I had like 2 or 3, half of them. Like, fuck this. I poured them into the car and I'm like, all right, I poured them into the Vic, bone fucking dry. So it's been leaking something. I don't know. I threw away some things. I did not throw away a whole lot of things. Like, I had drywall compound for some reason because I do all the drywalling. Actually, I know why I have that. I had the smallest bucket I could get was like a fucking bucket that was like this big.
Yeah.
And I used it to make a wood filler, and I used it for the green guitar. Actually, I also used it for the purple guitar. The purple, both those Rosser bodies, the Meteora and the Beateora.
Yeah.
Because it's like beat your Meteora kind of thing.
Yeah, I like it, yeah. It's the base Meteora, but you call it the Beateora.
Beateora, yeah. So,
taking a beat.
Yeah, I did it for both those.
Catching a beat.
You probably use like a tablespoon for each one. And mix your color into it.
Get a giant fucking big gulp, super gulp size bucket or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, I saw that immediately, and it weighs, a fucking ton. It weighs like probably like 30 pounds for that bucket. I'm like, fuck this.
You're
going. I'm not. I'm like, I could buy you again, and I really hope I don't have to. I will. So yeah, I threw that shit away. I guess that was really the only thing that I did throw away. Like, I had a spot for like used sandpaper that you could just wash out, Basically, if it was like clogged, you watch. I'm like, fuck this. I will buy more sandpaper.
At a certain point, you gotta like,
Yeah.
of like,
Like,
what is like has potential use in the future versus like what you actually use and need, and like if you can just rebuy it, I'm like, just fucking get rid of it.
Yeah,
I know,
and I should have done that with more stuff too. But at a certain point, I'm just like, fucking deadline's coming up.
Throw it in, get it in, throw it in, throw it in the truck. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't moved, but I'm just like in like the mindset in the past couple years of just like
slimming down.
I love that. And just getting rid of shit. I look at it, I'm like, why do I have this? Get rid of it. And I'm like,
if I had more time to like, go through and sort through stuff, but it's like,
well, even just stuff that doesn't take up that much space. I know sometimes you're like, why are you selling pedals? They don't take up that much space. I'm like, well, because I'm not using it. I don't need it. And then I get rid of it.
Look at this.
I know you got this shit. Got all your pedals out there now. You're fucking living it. I even will do things that, like, sometimes it makes you feel better if like things that aren't super super big that take up that much space, but you just get rid of them, because it's like I had like photos like that I had. Some of them were like me and like ex-girlfriends or whatever, or of like an ex-girlfriend or whatever. I'm like, why am I keeping this? I'm fucking like, it's fucking so old. I haven't talked to her this probably.
I've moved on. Like, I think.
No, I'm like, yeah. Unfortunately, they have moved on. Damn it. And I'm like a movie, I rip us apart. But it's just like, because you just have it in a box of just crap. And I look at it, I'm like, why am I having that? Why am I having this? Why do I have this? Get the fuck, and I just throw it away. I'm like, get rid of that. And I'm like, not that it like takes that much space, but it just kind of keeps, I don't know, it kind of makes you feel good to just get rid of shit. I did have a bunch of like, or like when I would have like old clothes that I donated and stuff like that, when I'm like, yeah, I'm not a size 29 anymore. I can get rid of those. We're looking at 32 or 34, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe once I get to a size 30, I can think about 29. But
super size me, baby.
Now, size like 32, we're looking at a solid that right now. Like, we're not even close to 29. Skinny.
Damn.
Skinny. I'm like, no, I'm not 20-year-old Brian anymore. I'm like, like my hope chest of like, I'll lose some weight someday. No.
Yeah.
No. Put that back. Put that right in the fucking donate pile. It feels great.
I had moved all my clothes already, basically, with me. I brought that all, so I didn't really have anything. Just like couple shoes, I guess, a couple sets of shoes that I'd left there.
Yeah.
Bunch of Converse, but anyways, I mean, we packed that shit up, and the journey. I don't know if you want to talk about the journey too.
No, I mean, I saw you grab a pedal there that I think you wanted to.
Well, I could bring it up later, but
yeah,
I guess I'll.
Well, okay, move. You got all the stuff out there. It was arduous, right? So
yes, it was. It's a long drive. It's like 1,300 miles, right?
Yeah.
It's through California, basically the whole width of California, all of Arizona, a little chunk of New Mexico, and then all of Texas.
Yeah,
well, not all of it. I mean, it's like just driving to Central Texas is still it's still like a lot.
Yeah,
it's still crazy.
But you made it. I was like, I have a coworker who is friends with your wife, and I was like, oh yeah, well, hey, they made it out there. I'm like, yeah, I was texting Carrie the whole day. It's just like, where are you guys now? Because it's like, I know that's such a bitch to drive a truck. One, you've never driven before, and two, towing a trailer with a fucking vehicle on it. It must have been just a real pain in the ass.
It was pretty sketchy driving. So the reason why I mentioned earlier driving uphill like the whole fucking way.
Yeah.
At a certain point, we got down to like 45 miles an hour going uphill.
And that way you were giving it hell.
That was, I was fucking flooring it.
Yeah.
Like, and this truck was brand new. It had like 260 miles on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We got it brand new. I think the last people drove around just town, just moving like big shit. There was like drywall chunks and shit in the back of it. But, yeah, man, I'm giving this truck hell. I'm still able to like pass vehicles and stuff. It was a nice truck. Actually, it was like a brand new. They said it was an F650.
Yeah. Why not the 750?
Yeah. Okay.
One more. Hello.
Yeah.
100 more. But
they have those.
Yeah.
So.
Well, like, I've been on, or like, when we were, not us, but I filled in for a band. I was on tour. I filled in for a band called Cut Your Losses, and we toured with Aaron Racine's band, Communist Katie, and we were like, I think it was 7 dudes in a van. No, it was 8 dudes in a van.
Fuck, it was a big van though.
It was a big van, so it was that Dodge. Was it 90
B?
Yeah,
there's a B van or something. Dodge B van.
It was a very wide, like very big van.
It was like 4 people wide type van.
Yeah, and towing a trailer, which was I think a 6x10 trailer.
Yeah,
we were going from San Diego, and we made it basically up to Seattle, back down through Idaho, Arizona, New Mexico, back, pulling into kind of doing that little loop there, but just going up the Grapevine is what they say.
Oh damn!
Going to San Francisco and going up Sacramento and stuff like that. There were certain parts where we were going like Ryan was given a hell. And we were going like 25 or 30 miles an hour.
Oh my god. Damn. You feel like you're going to get rear-ended by someone.
Some of the, because I think I was like 24, 25, and I was like the oldest guy on tour, and one of the guys was like, some of the guys were like 20, 19 or whatever. They're like, bro, I could start pushing if you want. And then one of the guys would like, he took his shirt off and he was trying to like catch air of like, well, like, that'll help like a sail. So he's hanging out in the van. He's got the shirt trying to, and then people are honking and shit. It was pretty funny.
Damn, 25 miles an hour. That's crazy.
On the freeway.
Yeah.
They're like,
that's just north of LA, by the way. It's not that far north.
It's like, oh man, Van Flip was the name of the tour. It's like, eventually we're gonna like flip the van. Anyways, so remind me of that. So you made
made it out of San Diego County. In El Paso. I guess that's the most memorable thing that happened next. We had a huge sandstorm. Yeah. So, dude, I've never been in anything like that. And it was, of course, rush hour El Paso traffic. Okay. So it's like bumper to bumper, and then the wind is just hitting. So there were like 60-mile-an-hour gusts of wind on this fucking thing. And like you only see like, maybe 20 cars at a certain point, and then it like just the visibility went down. And it was like, all right, people are driving fucking crazy. People are driving over medians and like trying to get off the road. Yeah. And we're just like, fuck this. This isn't my truck. So I'm just going to drive this thing. So it was weird because it was super windy, super dusty. And then it was raining, and there was like thunder. It was like everything all at once. It's like, great. Could we get snow? Like, what's the next step? Well, everything was just escalating. Yeah. And it wasn't bad enough to pull over, though. Yeah. I was worried about etching like the windshield on the El Camino, but it's fine. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And a mistake that I made, I guess, when you're driving a big ass truck that you can't hit the speed limit even, like I got up to like 70 a couple times, but 75 is the speed limit in Texas normally. Yeah. And then in certain areas like where there's nothing, it's like 80. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get up to there. Yeah. Gusts of winds and shit. You got gust of wind coming through. It would like put me all over the road. But what I wasn't noticing was, okay, the Google is telling me it's going to take, let's say, 8 hours to get from point A to point B, but it's giving me 80 miles an hour, and I'm going 60. Yeah. And so it put me, we get to this town called Ozona, right? Mm-hmm. I'm tired. I've been driving since Tucson. Yeah. I'm in Texas now, middle of nowhere. I don't even know where. I haven't even looked up where that town is. It was 1:30 in the morning. I'm like, all right, well, how far do we have to go? Still had 5 hours to go to get home. I'm like, well, fuck. that is still displaying what the 80-mile-an-hour time, I'm like, I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to be driving at 6 o'clock in the morning and finally pull up to the house. I'm like, let's just fucking pull over and we got a hotel.
Yeah.
So, and I got crash course, basically taught myself how to back up. Yeah. Back a trailer up. I pulled into a dirt lot. This is a mistake. I pulled into a dirt lot that said like the truck lot for this hotel. And I went to turn, and what I didn't realize is since it was dirt, my wheels were kind of going, they weren't going in this arc. They were going kind of getting pushed.
Yeah, yeah.
And so my arc was really big, and I didn't notice there was a fucking culvert, which is a like drainage ditch almost with a enclosed ditch. And I came right up to it. I'm like, well, I just basically put myself into a corner because I went next to this truck and came up to this thing. I'm like, I want to go to fucking bed. I want to just leave this thing right here, park the fucking truck and leave.
Damn.
So I had to back up, and then I had to figure that out. I'm like, all right, I actually did way better than
Austin Powers.
I was I was thinking like, okay, if I turn the wheel this way, it actually, since the truck is so fucking long, the back wheels have like another 10 feet before the trailer hits. Actually, it moves it so dramatically. I have to be like really careful. I'm like, all right. So I figured it out.
That would trip me
Park
out.
next to the big rigs, dude. Yeah. Park next to the big rigs, shut it down.
Yeah.
I just kept hearing Bob Seger in my head,
Yeah.
Turn the page.
All right, so I guess we talked a long time about you moving, you're packing, you're getting rid of shit, you're moving shit out there, but you did NAMM for at least half a day.
Yeah, so like 5 hours in NAMM.
Yeah, so we can talk about some gear and shit like that.
All right,
talk about your NAMM experience.
Yeah.
All right, so NAMM, we did Kyle's journey. Kyle's out there. Kyle's big adventure, and now mini adventure with you and Johnny at NAMM. You tried to, you had the passes. Let's try and make a little bit.
Yeah, make the best of it, right?
Yeah. So you have some highlights, some lowlights. What did you see at NAMM? How was it?
I guess my favorite thing. Let's start high. And go low. So I actually really enjoyed playing that the Badwater pedal from Walrus. Yeah. I know it's like it's a utility pedal, literally. I mean, it's a DI, it's a comp, has some drive, preamp, it's an EQ. Yeah, so it's a
bass pedal.
What? It's a bass pedal. So it's like even that.
Because I remember when that came out, I saw that, and I think Colt, he's one of the people that works for Walrus or whatever.
Yeah.
He posted in some groups, some praise and worship, some gear talk groups, whatever. And I saw it, and I'm like, dude, this is sick. I think I texted you, and then I texted RJ. RJ's like, anyways. And then, and then you were like, I like it. This is awesome. This is cool. That's fucking sick. Because it's a bass pedal.
Yeah.
And I know, I think you have the Sans amp, which I still have. I'll send it to you.
Don't say I have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You own yeah. And then you own the Sans amp, the bass driver, which is totally the GOAT for sure. And then I have the B7K Ultra, which I'm like, it's the Dark Glass, and I'm like, they're both fucking amazing. But I see other preamp pedals that come out, and I'm like, Johnny has the a couple of them. He's got the MXR bass DI deal. That's really cool sounding. It sounds great.
I think he's got a scrambler also.
Exactly. He's got the Ampeg one with the scrambler DI in it. I'm like, that's awesome too. Like, these all sound great. And then I'm like, do we need more? Yeah, why not? And then Walrus comes out with one, and I'm like,
fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
For people who aren't bass players, they're like, fucking gives a shit. But this thing looks like it could be, and you played one. It could be like if a guitarist didn't have a bass pedal, this could be your only bass pedal. And
definitely, because it takes the place of like 4 pedals.
Yeah, you just need a tuner, I guess.
Yeah, you just need a tuner.
Clip-on tuner if you really had to. For bass, clip-on tuners fucking suck. Don't do that. Just get a Hotone or something like that.
If you were in a bind, still don't use one.
But you still
Tune
got
by
to
ear.
you got to tune by yeah. Usually if I have a clip-on tuner, I'm trying to tune at the fucking 5th fret or maybe 12th fret on the E because it just won't pick up that note.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyways, so bad water and a tuner, that'd be a good way to go.
Yeah.
But you played one.
They had it going into the ACS1 loaded with a Ampeg 410.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay, so you played ACS1 too. Did you play it
Yeah.
with guitar?
play with bass.
Okay, so they didn't
They
have
had it.
you didn't try it with the guitar.
I tried it with the guitar. They had other pedals set up. So
Set stations.
yeah. What's funny? Johnny's whole thing is like, if a brand at NAMM doesn't have a bass setup, fuck them.
Yeah.
That's fuck them.
I think
And so
I remember that
when we
from
first
the
walked up,
2020
he's like,
NAMM,
oh,
yeah.
he was like, oh fuck. You know, he looked because they have 4 stations, right,
Yeah.
of pedals, but they had one in the back, almost like it was an afterthought, right? But it was on a table,
Yeah.
and it was by itself, and it had
Bass.
let's see, it had a bass. It had like a jazz bass. It had the bad water. Had like a chorus.
Yeah.
It was white though, so it was fucking sick. It's actually a really nice. It wasn't American, but it still had noiseless pickups in it. It was actually a really nice bass.
What is mine? Dog meat?
Yeah, I get it. Yours is nice. Yours is nice, but yours also looks like dog shit.
Oh, okay.
No, fine.
It's funny. No, I always bring that up. My bass is the 3-tone sunburst with the torque guard and rosewood fretboard. It's like your bass. It's your creative player that you never changed any of the stats on. I like it though. That's one of those like basic finishes that I like.
Yeah. My P bass is like even more basic, I think. When you look at it, it's like, oh, it's fucking yellow bass.
Yeah, well, it looks like if it was a telly, yes, that'd be the basic one.
Yeah.
Butterscotch telly, but it's a butterscotch bass.
Damn, I want a butterscotch telly though.
Me too.
That'd be sick. That would be sick.
You know, I had one that was like a Mexican made one.
Ash. Well, didn't you have an ash one?
Yeah, and it was the butterscotch thing, and it just wasn't. I wanted the American reissue one. I wanted nitro finish. I wanted all the retro, like the more retro finish on the neck. So like more deeper yellow.
Yeah, you want like that tinted clear.
Yeah, that tinted kind of like more vintage look. I wanted the vintage 52 reissue. It was like what I wanted. So I'm like American made, and because that wasn't it, I sold it. We got rid of it because I'm like
fucking idiot.
I'll eventually get one. I'll eventually get one, right? And I want it with the fucking not noiseless because I think the one I had noiseless pickups, and I'm like, no, I want noisy fucking
noiseful.
Noisy fucking telly pickups, and I want just the 52 reissue, just so I can be like Brian Fallon, who's trying to be like Bruce Springsteen.
You see my hair?
Yeah, and so I'm like, eventually one day, I was like, my pronouns are he, because I'll never be him. Yeah, just only looking at just Gaslight Anthem. I'm like,
and my friend say,
turn the record over, and you're like, yes.
That's a great song, actually.
That's the best song they've ever made. Is 45.
I didn't like that band really until I heard that song. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
What is this?
They have awesome a bunch of other awesome songs, but if you listen to that song, it's a radio hit. The lyrics are smart. It's catchy. It's great. I'm like, damn, they deserve to, make money off of that. It's like you listen to something. Yes, you should have made money off of that. Hopefully you got a good secure the bag. Anyways.
King. Shit, we were talking about NAMM.
Yeah.
So I played that. They had other pedals set up for the bass, chorus, phaser, know. And I was like, no, I just want to hear it by itself, with these 2 pedals. Fucking amazing. Sounded so good.
Yeah.
I played on that thing probably, I think Johnny was uncomfortable or how long I played on it.
Yeah.
You're like waiting, like, fuck.
He's just like,
we got nowhere else to be, right? Yeah, he's staring at me.
hello. It's just looking at his watch.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, and you had asked. I'm like, oh, should I get an ACS one or what is that? What it's called, right?
Yeah, ACS one.
It's their version of like an amp on a box kind of direct solution.
Yeah, it's a
like a Strymon
amp,
Iridium or
amp sim.
Yeah,
cab sim, I think too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it has a cab IR loader.
That's what the C stands for. So,
and then I know the Iridium as well. You can load third-party IRs in there.
Nice.
Nice. So it seems pretty fucking cool. And then you texted Johnny and I'm like, should I get one? I'm like, yes. I mean, it would be easier for you to record guitar parts than trying to mic up the PV or even using the amp sims on your computer. Because
I could use them for both, for bass and for
you can put
guitar.
IRs in there too.
Damn.
Yeah. But I'm like, because you could just always have that thing hooked up, and then you just go to different presets. Be like, oh, I'm recording bass today. Click to that one. Oh, I'm recording guitar today. I'm like, I always wondered if they do sound great. But yeah, you got your word.
They definitely do.
Seen demos and stuff like that, which I gotta check. I think Ryan Burke, at least in the past like week or two, put out one where he did like Strymon Iridium versus the Walrus ACS 1 versus like UAD Ruby or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah.
Because they came out with like, here's a Fender in a box, here's a Vox in a box, and here's a Marshall in a box for UAD. And so, heard those are great. But another topic for a different day. So anyway, that was the highlight, was Walrus.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be like, yeah, that was the best thing, but there wasn't a whole lot. So, that's another thing.
In comparison to other years, I know the whole bottom floor was gone, right?
Yeah, bottom floor gone.
And I know, leading up to it, people were like, this is not going to be big and it's going to be shitty because no Fender, no Boss, and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, Fender and Boss? How about they fucking get the Boss hog here? Suck on that. But
they did lend like Boss lended some pedals and shit to like the smaller what's that pedal exchange thing we went to up in LA? They were there.
Okay.
So that was actually pretty fun too. There were so many people around that thing that it was like you kind of right? Yeah, you're like, all right, I got to get out of here. Like I'm getting like crowded out, It's funny, they had bases there. I was like, Johnny, look, your rule has been, they've met your one standard, in your whole life. And
that you've ever had.
You've ever fucked and then one of the bases didn't have a strap. He's like, fuck this.
There's no standards for dating. There's no standards for
oh god. That's basically what I just said.
Only for NAMM. He never has any other standards.
Yeah, you have no standards whatsoever.
When you have no standards, you'll never be disappointed.
Yeah. Damn, that's my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the bases didn't have a strap, so he's like, "No, fuck this. I'm not playing it."
Why? Why would you? How could you fuck that up?
Also, they were PRS bases.
What?
I didn't know those existed. No, I've seen them before at that pedal exchange thing.
I think because PRS sponsors those.
Yeah, so I think they had guitars and stuff left over from when we went to that right before everything happened. So which is kind of it's funny.
Stomp Box Exhibit?
There you go. Stomp Box Exhibit. I couldn't remember the name. I always call it pedal exchange. It's not what it is. It's like, oh, anyone exchange this pedal with me? I will. Okay. Thank you, sir.
I was wondering, can you buy shit at those?
I think you can.
You can't buy shit at NAMM.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that
too.
Yeah,
maybe you can. Maybe they changed it, but I know years ago it used to be like you couldn't. That's not what it was there for.
Yeah. I mean, Ernie Ball, why does Ernie Ball have like, they basically build a store in the middle of the...
Yeah, with tons of strings and straps and all that shit.
Like, we don't know that you make those.
Yeah, they probably changed it, because I know you can buy shit now. I know, like, Groove Gear, you can buy, like, shit there, like cases and straps and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to say about Walrus...
I wonder if it picked up on the video. There was a random, like, flash on your screen, it flashed like either an image or just went black.
Really? I wasn't looking at it.
I'm gonna go back in editing and see if like what came up.
If it caught it. Some ghost.
That'd be great if it's just like yeah.
So
it's fucking Paul Reed Smith. You talking shit about the bases?
So back to Walrus before we leave the Walrus booth.
Yeah.
Virtually.
Yeah.
Or just in my mind, really. So the whole Mako series is actually really, really cool.
They seem awesome.
They're really expensive.
Yeah.
They already have a new version. It's funny. It's the V2 of the D1, which is the delay, right? So the stereo delay.
Yeah. I thought it was just an update to the firmware.
I believe so, but I mean, they changed some image shit on the front too. They did some update. Switches are a little different.
Okay.
I actually really did like playing the high fidelity modulation machine.
Yeah.
Dude, that was crazy.
You could.
It felt.
Sorry.
No,
I'm
you're fine.
thinking
Keep
like
going.
that's like a little baby Strymon. If you got the little Wolfecta, if you got the reverb, the delay, and the modulation, and then cap at the end the little
damn
cab sim.
That's
there.
Expensive. Your little journey there is expensive.
Not as expensive as a Strifecta.
That's true. It's true. But I only need one more to get Strifecta.
Got me there. Yes, Mobius.
Yeah.
Why don't you do that? God damn, you're almost there.
Because I'm doing other shit.
Spend multiple thousands of dollars to move my crap.
Just moved all my stupid shit.
My non-Strymon gear out to San Diego. I had to move a fucking couch, fucking volatile chemicals.
Yeah, probably illegally.
Garbage.
Pretty much.
A box full of bolts. I'm like, I need these. Probably in Texas.
Definitely brought bolts.
Roundup.
They don't have bolts. They don't have bolts in Texas.
Roundup. They don't have that in Texas. I better take it.
Yeah. Well, I figured I have all this shit already in my life.
Yeah.
You know, shit's going up in price. I might as well at least give it a chance to see if I can use it before I get rid of it. You know.
Yeah.
So, probably not very good.
But
not very good at logic there. Anyways, I know it's taking a long time to explain.
It might be a little bit longer. I don't think I'm even going to say my what's new. Let's finish up NAMM, and then let's get on out of here.
All right.
Because I'm looking, I'm like, we're well over an hour.
So I went to the Stomp Box exhibit, and you mentioned Boss. They had a setup there. Played the synth pedal, the big one. I can't.
Oh, SY 300. There's a big one, there's a medium one, and a smaller one.
Okay, it was the SY 200, I think.
Yeah, that's the medium sized one.
Damn, that thing is pretty nuts. Actually, there's a. All right, so like Johnny has the arpeggiator from Earthquaker, and it sounds cool. You know, it just never did what I thought what an arpeggio, does. Like you hit it.
Was it called Arpin? Is it Arpinoid?
Arpinoid.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say was.
Sorry, arpeggiator is like I've heard that for.
It is an arpeggiator, but it's like
Arpinoid
is the name.
So, and I'm more annoyed with that thing than ARPed.
The Pizza Hut
than AARP'd.
It was AARP card.
What the Arpinoid did, it would go like you'd hit it like put on the 4 count, and it would only do 3. So it'd be like dun 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 dun. I'm like, okay, so we're missing a note in there. It wouldn't be like,
yeah, because I remember you borrowed that.
It wouldn't. Yeah,
and you were using it to actually try and like make synth music with.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is not. This doesn't work.
And I just used it to make a Miku video where I made a noise, and I'm like, this thing's cool. And then you're
I
like,
fucking hated it.
But if you actually want
sucks dick.
If you actually want to use it in fucking time and use it in a song, it doesn't work. For noise, yes.
It's probably amazing for noise.
I'm sure it does. Yeah, it makes noise. I remember I liked that pedal a lot, and you were like, "This is unusable. This is bullshit."
I'm going home. You are home. Oh, you are home.
I need
this thing is fucking great.
Yeah.
The arpeggio is actually really good.
Yeah.
And it does like, and I played a little bit of it. I instantly understood like it's picking up, it's tracking really well. Every time you'd hit a note, it would start the arp again, or you could have it where it was continuous, right?
Like
so
it was constantly in time, and your notes.
Yeah. Exactly.
In time. Got it.
So
I like that.
I play it for Johnny. I didn't even have headphones for me. I just played it for him. He's like, "Oh shit, this is amazing." I'm like,
that's the 200, right?
It's the
so
200.
Like the one that's kind of like the DD 200 distortion.
Yeah, it's in that series.
Gotcha. Or the OD 200 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
So, I heard mixed reviews on that on the Fret Talk podcast. You got your boys out there. Mr. Matt Quine, Budget Pedal Chap, just kind of more Matt Quine. I love his commentary. He's like, he just deep breathes and then just fucking lets people have it. He's like, if you wanted to play a synthesizer, that you fucking get like I feel bad doing his accent. But
yeah, you really sound like you're from fucking Pine Barrens, New Jersey.
I'm like, he's like, if you wanted a fucking synthesizer,
fucking
play the synthesizer. If you have a guitar, play a guitar. And then he's like, whereas like he let I think Lee just kind of talk about like wax poetic of how great this thing is, and he's like, just like breathed in. He's like, all right, here's my Hammer Bros style. Here's the just ba 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 of like kind of how dumb the pedal is. Yeah, but it does a good job. I think that it's funny because they will take the piss out of something, but also say it's like that pedal is good, but what's the point?
Yeah, no, I get it.
But I also heard that the SY1 was great too. And that's a smaller form factor. It's like the Boss compact size.
Yeah.
And it's less money, right?
A lot less.
But
it's like half the cost right now.
But also it does a lot less.
Yeah, it's, standard knob. You have your clicky knobs, your little volume knobs, you have a bunch of concentric knobs. But it doesn't have everything.
Yeah, I think the boy, the young king over there, Melt Chipson, he's got one of those. Speaks highly of it. So if you wanted to dip like just like your little toe and kind of have some fun, cool synth sounds, the SY1 seems like a good option. Yeah. But if you wanted to have more full control and actually maybe try and use that, turn your guitar into a synth and use it for songs, SY200 seems like the way to go. And there's the SY3000, I think, is like it's like bigger than a Strymon.
It's 1,000.
1,000. Okay. That seems like full on, like you want to do so much shit.
Yeah.
And it's very expensive.
And the reason why they call them SY1000 is because that's how much they cost.
Yeah. It is, right? Isn't it like $900 or $1,000?
There's one here for like $1,200, and the rest of them are under that.
I think it's
like, how can people do that?
Close to that. I know we had a friend who used to play in a band. He got one of those because he wanted to do like more like kind of synth pad stuff in between songs on his band because he was like in his band because he had like a 5-piece band.
Yeah.
He was like, as the guitarist, like, I want to add more shit. I'm like,
damn.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I guess. But and he's like, he was all about it because he's like, I'm not trying to get the Strifecta, I'm trying to get the Sci-Fecta, which is SY, And I'm like,
nice.
Yeah. And that was before the 200 or the 1 came out. But I'm like, Boss is doing a good job. Even back then, that was the first one that came out. It's like really great. It was like a standard and still is. It'd be cool.
On that same board, I got to play the
RE2
Space Echoes. Yeah, so like
the compact one.
Yeah, the compact, and then also the bigger.
I know there's a bigger one, but I have no. I'm like, I'm never gonna buy that one. I really want to buy the RE2.
Honestly, I didn't really give it that much time, because I was playing a PRS guitar,
and you're just like trying to
enjoy myself, and then I realized I'm playing.
Trying not to throw up all over it. I'm kidding.
I guess I'm gonna try. I don't want to spend too much time on a lot of this stuff. Sorry, I mean, we didn't do that much, but we did enough where I still remember a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, I guess we could. I mean, we're kind of running long. I guess we could catch up and then do part 2. So maybe the lowlights of NAMM next episode.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me do. Oh man.
Well, I mean, we could like, even if you have more highlights, we can cap it off because we're coming up on
all right. Yeah.
hour 20. So, but you did have fun, even though you were there for less time. I guess some of the things that you guys both saw, there were still the Comic-Con type people out who were LARPing as rock stars.
Oh yeah.
They're like
dudes who look like they were like, Sid Vicious style. Oi mate, I'll fucking do you.
Fucking
You're like,
do
right.
you.
Fucking going out for a smoke. You want one? All right, I'm going out this door right here that
So
says
you were
no
able-
exit.
You were able to check off some of Matthew Fenslaw's his like scene at NAMM.
Yeah.
The people who like peaked in the 80s and they still dress like that.
God, we saw Doyle, right?
Yeah.
That dude from the Misfits.
Yeah.
Dressed like he would be on stage.
Yeah.
Like he's shirtless.
Yeah.
Leather pants. Everything.
Yeah.
Looks like fucking
jacked
the
as
Munsters.
shit. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Munsters walking down the freaking.
And then people are just like dressed like it's like a fashion show. I'm like,
yeah,
you don't need to be fucking wearing leather jacket, leather pants. I'm like, and you got your fucking like mitts hanging out.
Well, you had like couples walking around that, or they're like dressed together. I'm like, I don't ask my wife what she was gonna wear before we go out, unless it's like, hey, I'm wearing this sweater, we have like the same sweater, okay, instead of like, let's wear leather and dye our hair black for NAMM.
And I say that and I'm looking at my reflection. I'm like, I guess I have like I'm getting back to spiky hair. I guess I look stupid too, so I'm like, whatever.
No, it's fine.
Let's
go on you though.
Bash Pro Shop hat. You have a couple of them, so why don't you wear them, Brian? Instead of that bullshit haircut. Anyways,
let's get out of here.
So
right?
it was fun. It was you saw some silly people out.
Yeah, it was
like people watching time.
A lot of shit though. I mean, not a lot of our normal shit. So
not a lot of okay. I mean, there were
hangs. I did see what's the guy's name? I can't. Fuck. Anyways, I can't remember people's names now.
Maybe
Thorne. Pete Thorne.
Okay,
saw Pete Thorne.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. You said you saw Pete Thorne. You saw fucking Spectre Sound Studio. Glenn
Fricker.
And he was
dude was coming out. This is hilarious.
Gigantic,
he was coming out.
Right?
Yeah, he's huge.
Like tall.
He's like a fucking Viking.
A big boy too.
He's thick.
Yeah. 2 C's. Yeah.
He's fucking juicy, dude.
Juicy.
So he's coming out of the NAMM store, by the way. So they have the NAMM store in NAMM. So like you can go in and like buy a shirt that says like
NAMM.
Oh, I survived NAMM, or like I went to NAMM and all I got was a shitty T-shirt.
Yeah, it's NAMM merchandise. Is the store.
God.
Yeah.
Like it's anyways. I guess NAMM is a big thing, but it's like not for me. It's not that big where I'm like, it's not about just walking in the door and like, let me find the fucking a convenience store in here and fucking where's a tourist trap in this bitch. So anyway, it was literally like an enclosed room with doors.
Yeah.
Open on the it was open ceiling. Like it's weird. It's like enclosed like a freaking when you get you walk into the pet zoo or the pet store and they have like animals. It was like open. Like someone could anyways. It was really awkward room. Really awkward
someone
building.
Could reach in and grab Glenn Fricker.
Yeah, like a big hand could grab people and like, I'm taking this one with me.
Yeah.
So anyways, Glenn Fricker's walking out.
Yeah.
And I think he heard me because I went to Johnny. I said, oh, Johnny, look, it's Glenn Fricker. I've never seen him in person before. I've just seen his
his YouTube
face. So he goes, who the hell's that?
Yeah.
I was like, who? Oh, Glenn Fricker, he's like a studio guy. And I'm like, and I stopped explaining. I'm like, never mind. Like,
the more you explain, he's not gonna help. Yeah.
He walks out. He's just wearing like his t-shirt. He like pulls out of his he walks to the side of the long wall that's on this NAMM store.
Yeah.
Right. He puts on his fucking hoodie. Right.
Yeah.
He puts on his mask. He puts his hood on and then like zips up his hoodie and then like ties everything together. So and then he puts sunglasses on. So all you see is like, not like he's got nothing showing anymore. His long hair's in it. Like,
yeah,
you
so
wouldn't know.
He's doing a mix of Kenny from South Park and the Unabomber.
Yeah, I was a little concerned. For
the safety of me and my fellow officers.
I stopped to watch this. I was like, what?
I gotta get it.
We're on the side of him. I don't think he can see us anymore because he's just blinded himself,
Yeah, I gotta get a load of this.
What the fuck is going on? I'm like, never mind. I'm like, Johnny's like, what are we looking at? I'm like, don't. Glenn, like that dude that I pointed out literally just like disguised himself. He just fucking went from Superman to Clark Kent, and we watched him do it.
Well, you also there's so many people who don't give a fuck about YouTube, or any of the other shit to do with guitars or whatever. So it's like sometimes people like could think of like, oh man, I'm a big shot, and other people like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Give a shit. Get the fuck out of my way.
And for me, it's not like I've watched his shit religiously. I just know who he is.
Yeah,
I've seen maybe one or two. But he must have heard me, and he was like, "Oh fuck, I'm going incognito."
We've done NAMM before, where I'm like, I mean, I would like to say hi to him, but I'm not going to go out of my way. Like we were at Wampler, and it was like the 2021, and we were hanging out with Blake and the boys and fucking Leon and Justin and stuff like that. And we're hanging out at the Wampler kind of area, and then we're trying shit out, and then it was Phil McKnight was there with Lawrence Petros from LPT Pedals, and they were kind of, I think, either just making the rounds or talking to people, and they were talking to Brian Wampler, which I'm like, oh, Brian Wampler too. I'm like, oh, I like his podcast and YouTube channel, and then Phil McKnight. All right, I'm like, I could just be a cunt and walk in. I'm like, oh, can I get a handshake and a picture? I'm like, I'm not that big of a fan to do something that obnoxious.
Yeah.
But if Shane Gillis was there,
doubt he was.
Bet.
Yeah. So really, I only saw that guy. Sorry. Yeah.
Of your celeb scene.
Yeah, I saw him and Pete Thorne, and I did the same thing. I was like, Johnny, look, it's Pete Thorne. Who? I'm like, never mind. And so I did the same thing. I told Johnny about the first time you and I went to NAMM, and you're like, oh, it's Pete Thorne. I'm like, well, let's go talk to him.
Yeah, no.
Because I don't know who he was. Let's go talk to him. You're like, no, I don't want to talk to him. I'm like, let's just go. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And I was just like, no. Just pussied out. And nowadays, I'm like, you understand, I'm like, it's probably not that big a deal. A lot of these people are pretty approachable. But also, like, it's probably best to not approach these people, especially at this past NAMM, because, like, so many people got sick.
Yeah. I didn't though.
No, you didn't. These colors.
Johnny and I didn't get sick.
Yeah.
I felt sick driving home. Like the last 2 hours, I was like coughing. I gotta fucking unload this truck, and then I gotta first still drive 2 hours and get home.
And curse Brian the whole way. I'm like, you did this to me.
You did. Yeah. And I went to fucking NAMM and spent, a day with strangers inhaling their exhale. But I'm going to blame you.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that you are anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
long episode. Let's bring it in.
Let me show this off first. Hold on, because I already have it in my fucking hand. Johnny got me this phaser.
Yeah.
So it is from Idiot Box Effects. It's I haven't figured out how to really say it. It's not what a phaser, because it's Waterburger. So it's water phaser.
Yeah, water phaser. It's water
phaser. Yeah, but
because do people say Waterburger or say water?
They say they say Waterburger, like water, because they're stupid.
Waterburger's good. I want to say it's comparable to Carl's Jr.
Yeah, I would say it's a closer match.
Closer
always
match to
like
Carl,
people always like trying to hit up, like punching up. Like no, like don't hit in and out with that.
like it's in and out. Just because
In and out ain't got time for you.
Because it's regional too, like New Mexico, Texas, and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, oh, this is our in and out. I'm like, no, it's just regional to you, but it's like your version of Carl's Jr.
Yeah,
which is great, by the way.
Yeah,
they have a lot of cool shit, and also it's pretty damn good. But
I haven't found a Carl's Jr. out here, by the way.
Yeah, because Waterburger's pushing them out. You're on our fucking turf, bro.
Anyways, this thing is pretty nuts. Like it gives you that like orange box phaser kind of sound,
Really?
and then there's like it still gives you that
the MXR sound.
Yeah.
What?
Basically if you just dial everything like really really low, it gives you that MXR phaser. But
I always
if you
feel
ramp
like phasers that are non MXR phasers are always trying to do like the boss type phaser.
Okay. Well, it's orange, dude, so it's got to be the same thing.
I like it.
And then there's like this is your rate, I think, and this is like a fucking. It's like almost like a gate or like a step. So like I don't even know. I have to read up on it, but I just turned it all the way off. I think because I'm like I can't, or I turned it all the way up so you can't hear it clipping. There's like a
tenting my fingers. I'm like, yes. Oh.
It adds like a step.
Nice.
Like a hard step in there.
Always trying to find a phaser that can do me the way that MXR Phase 90 does.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah. Well, so that intrigues me.
Yeah. Johnny got it for me for my birthday. Yeah. But I think he got it for himself and then realized that he didn't like it, so he gave it to me for my birthday.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
That's cool. I like the hand-me-downs. Give me sloppy seconds. Yeah. I'll take sloppy seconds. Sloppy third, sloppy fourth, sloppy like 69ths. I don't care. Just let me fucking get some.
Let me get some.
Yeah. Anyways, we're now fucking hour and a half. Let's go. Let's
Put
bring it on
me in,
home.
coach.
Yeah, I'm ready to play. So, just want to say thank you for tuning into the Tone Jerks podcast. This episode was a little different, but catching up with my boy here. We had some gear stuff, some NAMM coverage. On the floor, he was actually at NAMM. I was not.
Live coverage.
We're not, not going to lie to you. I wasn't there. Kyle was there, feet on the floor. So, maybe we get some more of your trip next time. But, we're running a little long. So, again, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you hear, you can follow along on social media. We're on Instagram at the Tone Jerks. Posting cool shit on the reg. We have a Facebook group linked in the description of the podcast. Join that. We got a page. You can like it if you want. We don't really do anything special over there. And then we have a YouTube channel where we're posting video clips from the podcast. We're doing the full video version of the podcast. We're doing studio tours. We're doing demos. We're doing bunch of shit over there. Subscribe. Give us a like. Give us hit that bell. And if you really like what you hear, you can help support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. But if you double down for $2 a month, you get an extra episode every week. You get an RSS feed. Put that in your favorite podcatcher. And then you get the new episodes that come out every Tuesday, and then all the back catalog. There's over 220 episodes. When I looked at it, I was trying to calculate. I'm like, it looks like there's like almost, I think 250 posts. So sometimes I guess we maybe put extra
clip
clips
in there. Or something.
And sometimes we'll do bonus episodes. Cause I'm like, we'll record for 2 hours. I'm like,
fuck.
I don't want to lose that.
Got to give it to the dogs.
Yeah. So it put a bonus episode over that. Yeah. And then I'll get sometimes bonus interviews that I have on there that if they run long from the main, I'll put them over there on Patreon. So a shitload of content, a lot of bonus shit, a lot of good stuff. For just $2 or $1, we're going to give you a shout out. And we want to give these people a shout out, a sizable acknowledgement. Kyle, you got a list over there?
I got it right here.
For the dog pound.
Yeah.
Why don't you give it to...
We have Andrew Walsh from Andrew's Alcove and the Second Button Podcast, Second Button Podcast, which is a Seinfeld listen, watch along podcast that Brian does with
Andrew.
Andy.
Yeah, every other
Andy W.
Monday, we're putting those out. I love that show so fucking much. It was like, it's part of my what's new. I guess I was on the Just Surprise Me podcast, and then like one of the topics was like, oh yeah, comparing, King of the Hill versus Seinfeld and whatever. I'm like,
cartoon versus.
It was a little broader than that, and kind of like, oh, Mike Judge versus like Larry David and Jerry. I'm like,
yeah,
whatever you want to put it as. Like Seinfeld is probably one of my all-time favorite shows. You could pick it apart as much as you want, and even like one of the biggest critiques of that show is like Jerry Seinfeld is a shitty actor, and you watch the show, he's the worst actor of the show.
Yeah,
but I'm like, I still love it. It's still great. You can have something that's terrible, but you still like it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm just going to eat fucking like a tub of Cool Whip. But I'm like, I love it.
Damn. Frozen. You got to freeze that though next time.
And you just like eat it like it's ice cream.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Seinfeld's great.
Anyways,
listen
Abe
to
Newman.
Podcast. Yeah.
Michael Newman. Nicholas Payson. Nicholas Ogburn. Doug King. Doug Christ from 37 Effects, Masters of the Cinematic Universe, and also the Just Surprise Me podcast. Oh, yeah. We have Joe from Masters of the Cinematic Universe and also the Just Surprise Me podcast. We got Will Lehue from the Just Surprise Me podcast. We got Tony DeGraw from the Signal Path podcast, and also he's a Texas State Boggle Champs,
which is the King of the Hill podcast that he does.
Doing that with Joe.
So.
We had R.J. Smith from Teletalks and also Stream Talk Repeat.
Yeah.
Jamie Davis, Johnny Ray, Jason Fuzzmonger, Steve Ralph from 60 Cycle Hum, Kevin E. Quits from E. Quits Guitars, Co Schneider from Night Tides. He's a native Tennessean now. That's what I hear.
He's a Southern boy now.
Yep, Southern Belle.
Is that South? Is that the South?
Oh, yeah. That's like freaking, that's South, dude.
Are you in the South?
I mean, no. Yeah, I am. Yeah. Barely.
Dude, didn't do it last time because your boy was broke, but next time I want to get a cowboy hat. And dude, I'm going to fucking walk around bow-legged the whole time.
We were staring at Stetsons the whole time.
No, but I was fucking, you don't understand, dude. You don't know what the hell broke is, dude.
Yeah, yes, I do.
So I got the. It's like, are you kidding me? I was born in the brokenness.
Yeah, I had to make $300 to be broke.
I got the next best thing, dude. I was walking around my Carhartt baby and a fucking Bass Pro Shop hat.
Damn, someone thinks you're a fucking contractor walking around.
No, and
you
then
do tile.
You're talking shit about my. You're talking shit about my Carhartt, dude. And then we went to fucking some random gas station. The bro was a color swapped version of me. He was wearing a Bass Pro Shop hat and like a brown Carhartt.
Someone hit invert on their computer and edited the photo. Like, oh fuck, there's Brian.
And I'm like, yeah, we're both grabbing the same thing. I think we both grabbed like a couple tall boys, and we're in line at the gas station. I'm like,
you reach across, like you're grabbing like the regular Oreos. He's grabbing the other like the reverse color Oreos.
And then we both do the
ma'am.
To each other.
And you both spit.
Color swap.
You cross
version.
your chew streams.
Oh, it's like in Smash Brothers where you do the color swap. You're like, oh, here's Mario versus Mario, but they're two different colors.
You bump into each other and you trade colors. Alvaro Viramontes, Brian Nutter of Nutter Guitars, Mel Chibson of Chibson Guitars, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Sean Fahey from Shadowhounds, the band.
Another native Southern boy.
Sean Wright. Go ahead.
As soon as you move out there, I'm native, dude. I'm native Southern boy.
I've been here.
You've been out in Texas
for 3 months. Yeah,
you've been in Texas for about a year
now.
A little over a year, and you're like, I'm native Texan, boy.
Yeah. Sean
I bet
Wright
you still have a California ID.
I do. It's good until 2006. Sorry,
California
not 2006.
Plates still?
2026. Yeah, I still have my California plates on my Vic. I got to get that updated.
Yeah.
Juan Ortiz. Oh, no. Hold on. Sean Wright from Lollygagger Effects. Juan Ortiz from Tone Hungry Effects. Mike Oxbig.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hugh a G-rection.
Oh, yeah.
And then Use a fucking cock. It's Swedish, I believe. Zach Hale. Eric Merrill from YouTube. Check out his YouTube channel. He's got some good shit on there.
Yeah,
Scott Hamilton. Go ahead.
He's always doing it. I watch his videos. I'm like, dude, your camera's sick. Like he's got he knows how to film videos, and his like gear is really good. And I'm like, ask him pointers. He's like, God damn it, Ryan, leave me alone. I'm like,
yeah.
So what the hell is megapixels, dude? And he's like, God, fuck, idiot.
He's like, I contributed to Patreon so you wouldn't talk to me.
Can you explain a megapixel? Like I'm 5, and he does, and I'm like, still. What about 3?
Yeah. Okay. You know what? If I'm 1, Scott Hamilton from the Effects Loop podcast, Tim Noack from Bardic Audio Devices. That guy's making crazy shit.
Yeah, he keeps on putting new pedals out. Like, just follow him on Instagram and stay
definitely.
in the know.
Tyler Rhines from Tyler Casey Riffs on Instagram.
Yeah.
Michael, God damn, he's gonna kill me. Matthew Fenslaw.
Damn it!
I read the next name.
What if I did a cut where you're just like, do the YouTube jump cuts? Matthew
Fenslaw, Michael McVeigh, and Matthew Davis, and that is the list.
All right, this is a super long episode. I'm not gonna cut it up. We're just gonna put it all out. You should be able to, portion control yourself. Anyways, we'll see you next week. We'll talk to you later. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.